first of all say welcome and just give you a little bit of what's to come. So I am currently the group creative director at Ogilvy in Toronto. My background a bit, I became CD of an agency called Palmer Jarvis DDB, which at the time was Canada's top creative agency. So it was a really, really high profile position. And I became creative director at the age of 29, which is pretty crazy. I started in advertising at 24 and was really fortunate to be often in the right place at the right time. Talked about this before, but knowing yourself, knowing who you are. Do I wish like I looked more like Don Draper? I sure wish I did. He has a lot of habits and bad personality traits that I do not wish I shared, but but certainly in terms of like the prototypical CD, he is kind of that stereotypical cool CD, aesthetically speaking, anyway. But I'm not. I'm me, and I'm okay with that. So, what's a brief? Obviously, identifies important key benefits for a campaign, a launch for any piece of communication, tells the story and explains why it's important to the audience, and serves as a guide for the creation of new materials. But essentially, strategy is the source code. It's running behind everything people see and experience. So, a consumer obviously would or should never know what the strategy is, but it's obviously behind everything. And I'm sure we all see work on TV or online or whatever, and we say to ourselves, oh my God, the strategy is showing. So here's just a couple of examples. We talked about the "you're not you when you're hungry" campaign idea. So Snickers went a step further and they actually changed their packaging, which was such a good idea to kind of play on the fact that people make spell brands wrong when they're hungry. And so to sell this idea, like, I don't know if this is exactly what they said, but they probably, when they presented this extension of the campaign to actually turn their packaging into an extension of the idea, we're going to alter our own packaging to show the world the kind of funny mistakes people make when they're hungry, and that Snickers is the only candy bar that satisfies. For me, this is, again, a really big one. I never want to feel like I'm selling. I want to feel like, again, build that bridge with the client. We both want the same thing. And here I'm going to tell you a bit of a story of why I think this is the right thing. Because this was essentially them taking their entire Easter budget, which again is a disproportionate part of their business, and literally putting all those eggs in one basket. And so like the CMO would look at me and go, is this going to work, Randy? Is this going to work? So again, we talked about, even, was it a couple last week, when it was not the fake it till you make it, but sometimes you need to convey confidence. One of the things I always do before working with someone new, be it a photographer, a director, is I always ask around, or I get the producer ask around, has anyone worked with them? Are, like, if they're a jerk, if they're hot-headed, if they're, really, and sometimes it's worth it if they're really, really good, like really good. But so often it's just like, it's not worth it. Award shows are so great for so many kinds of inspiration, but beyond just admiring the work, are there trends? Are there things you can take from it that are actually meaningful? And sometimes what was obviously popular one year, the next year is old news. So again, it's not like we want to look at the work and go, oh, we should be doing that, because by the time we do it, it won't be award winning. Thank you for sharing that. That was the cherry on top of my night. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you putting yourself out there. And I'm so proud that you feel like this is an environment where you can do that. So thank you to everyone who kind of brings that energy and that vibe. So thank you all. Have a great night and have a great weekend.